So what's it like coming back here?
Oh, it's great. You know, you see so many of your old friends, right? People you used to work with. A guy like EJ. When I was a kid, man, he was just bringing me around and showing me the right things, what to say and what not to say, media training. And this feels good to be around the young athletes. I've been in their shoes and I know what it feels like, right? And I like to give them just wise words, man, and guys that help me out. I remember I was a freshman and Tony Dorsett came to meet me and greet me. And I was like, whoa, you know, so this Pitt thing is a family, man. It's always good to be back home.
What do you remember about playing the 13? What do you remember about that West Virginia game?
That was a crazy game. I mean, like, I think all my rivalries from like high school to the pros, and nothing matches up to that Backyard Brawl. And I was a freshman. I remember like seeing like the fans throwing batteries at us, right? Rocking the bus. It was so different from any other away game, you know? And then like even the children, like with curse words with the parents, you know? So that rivalry is something special. Even Pat McAfee and Pac-Man Jones, guys I'm friends with, we always, you know, joke about it. And I always say, hey, I've never lost to West Virginia. You know?
Did you ever say anything to Pat about missing those field goals?
Nah, I didn't, because he's a cool dude, so I didn't really rub it in too much. One thing about West Virginia guys, they take the Backyard Brawl serious like we do. So when we were talking, he kind of threw it out there first. Like, oh, you guys beat us. So I couldn't really rub it in too much like I wanted to, you know. But nah, it's listen, I'm happy the game's back. Like I was down at the Dolphins training camp, and I'm looking over as this guy, tall white guy, right? And he's waving at me. I'm like, who the hell is that? So I go over to him. We kind of meet, Dan Marino. And the first thing he says to me is, hey, Shady, what's going on? Hey, are you going to the game, Backyard Brawl? I'm like, yeah, I'm going there. So it's like a Pitt family, we always go back to the game because it's such a big thing for us.
What does a man's body feel after 38 carries, a day after 38 carries?
Well, I was younger back then, so it didn't really matter. And then Coach Wannstedt did a great job of keeping me humble. He was saying, Jay, you think you did something? So I played with Tony Dorsett. He had 45 carries, you know. So I was, when you're in the heat of the moment, man, you don't really think about it. The next day you are sore, I would say that.
We can tell these kids about the Backyard Brawl and getting ready for this game since none of them have experienced it.
Yeah, so it's new for them, and I would just tell them that, hey, I will give them a brief story like I talked about with Dan. He's one of the best players in the NFL forever, you know, than let alone a Pitt great. So it's showing you how important it is. You know, guys has been removed from Pittsburgh, right? Still keep an eye out for that game because it's so big, you know. And I let them know that, hey, man, like, you never know what can happen. I'm sure players that played at Pitt played in the game, and then next you know it was taken away. They're like, hold on, the Backyard Brawl was taken away, so anything can happen, and you know, don't take no moment for granted.
LeSean, mentioning anything that can happen, what floats back when you think of 13-9 and that night in Morgantown?
I just remember like first of all, that week was like different. Like everybody's intensity was different from Coach Wannstedt down, trickled down to the Scott McKillips, the seniors and the leaders on the team. And when we got there, the atmosphere was outrageous. It was crazy. I'd never seen anything like it from the fans, and it was so loud. And then what was at stake? They were going to a BCS championship, national championship, that is. And for us to ruin that, you know, now I'm old enough to know about like the gambling and all that type of stuff and the DraftKings, and I can only imagine like, wow, how much parlays were ruined that night. So that was an extremely cool night, man. That's one of my favorite moments. Because I'm, 17, 18-year-old kid. I didn't even know the magnitude of that game. And then playing in it and really playing well and getting the win. And that was something special.
LeSean, when's the last time you remember this much excitement being connected to this program?
One more time.
When's the last time you can recall this much excitement being connected to this program going into a season?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, right? It's been a while. I do like the excitement that they had last year with Kenny Pickett. You know, he kind of got this thing jumping again. But no, this year is expectations is high. You know, when you add this game into it, it makes it even bigger. You know, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this year goes. You know, I'm gonna be here. I'll be here Thursday night.
I was just going to say, you're embracing this mentorship role now. You have stepped into this whole new mentorship for Pitt role. Talk about that. How does that feel for you to be entering this phase of your life?
You know what it is? I think it's more just I've done so well for so long, right? And I never really had like a real mentor. Like now, sure, I had my father, who was great in my life, and I had like my brother, who played in the pros for a little bit, but I never had like a player of my magnitude, right? Actually like show me the ropes. As when I got to here, I was like starting, like 4 games, something like that. Then like I leave here in 2 years, then I go to the league. I maybe watch for 5 games and I'm starting again. So I never really had nobody to really show me, because I made a lot of mistakes. And if I'd have had somebody there to tell me, hey, to call them, hey, I got a question about this, I got a question about that, or how can I do this better? I probably have an even better career, right? I probably even been a better person. So now I have the opportunity to give back, you know, and a lot of it is financially giving, you know, helping back and different charities and et cetera. But a lot of it is the mentorships and helping young kids succeed.
But you are pleased with what you accomplished on the football field in the NFL. I mean, 2 championships to end your career?
Yeah, that was the sweet part. Like, when I would brag, right? Because I brag here and there. And I would brag just about my numbers as like playing, I got these numbers and rushing titles and et cetera. But then when you get like championships, that's like the ultimate bragging right, you know? So it just meant a lot. I know a lot of great players that played this game at a high level that never won anything. And this is actually my first time really winning. High school, I mean, we got close with Central Catholic. They were like powerhouse, and they beat us. And then in Pitt, we got really close, but we didn't really win. And Eagles, all my teams. So I got lucky the last 2 years to, ride the sunset with a ring.
You miss playing?
You know what? Nah, I don't. I thought I might. I think my last year, my 13th year, I had a chance to play with the Jets and the Dolphins. And as I'm trying to make my mind which team, it just hit me like, you know what, I'm done. You know, let's call it quits.
LeSean, to Kelly's question.
Jeff, we'll give you, and then Amanda's going to have the last question. Go ahead, Jeff.
To Kelly's question earlier, how did Pitt impact your life?
Oh, without getting emotional, right? Because I always get emotional when I get asked this question. I got to give a lot of credit to Dejan, man. Because my story was, I was All-American, right? I remember I was set on going to USC. USC was recruiting me. Pete Carroll came to my high school, right? And USC plays with the rules a little bit, and Reggie Bush would call me from time to time. Everybody was Reggie Bush's favorite. He was his favorite. He was the man. And I'm going to USC, then I get injured, right? And then everything changed from 80 scholarships to 5, And Coach Wanstead was always a popular person just from his career, but he would always come into school even when I was highly recruited and I wasn't hurt. And the same attitude, the same effort recruiting me then, it was the same. I had to go to prep school to rehab my foot, and he told me that he'd give me a chance to regain my name and continue my career, So Pitt has really helped me out. It really has, and changed my family's lives and my life forever, and thankful for that, very thankful. So when they called me to come talk, I was like, hey, I'll free up some time and I'll be there.
Amanda, you have the last one there?
Hi, LeSean, right here. Sorry. You're obviously a Super Bowl champion, but where does the 13-9 game rank for you in terms of your career?
Very high. It's in the top 3 for sure. I think just, top 3, I'll give it that. That game was the first real game I've been to. It was wow, it's a big thing. We stormed the field. And the only thing you could hear was just the players, because the fans were super quiet. And there was so many people. Playing in Morgantown is hard. It's very loud. That's probably the first real game where I couldn't hear the huddle calls, So it probably ranks top 3.